offer. Now on ITV, we join Tom Bradby and ITV News for the Chancellor's Budget 2017.
It is Budget Day. Yes, it is. A bit like Christmas, but probably today without the presents. This was the scene outside number 11 Downing Street a few moments ago as the Chancellor wielded his famous red box. He is now inside the Commons on what is unmistakably an important day for his party, for his country, and indeed for him personally. He is surrounded by opponents and enemies. Some of them are even in the Labour Party. This is the first budget since the catastrophic election, and he must articulate a clear vision for our economy. Will it be a Brexit budget? As steady as she goes, we're still trying to sort out the public finances austerity budget. Or will there be relief for all those who are really now feeling the squeeze? Our political editor, Robert Peston, said last night he feared the Chancellor's room for manoeuvre was frankly limited. He will be on hand at Westminster to discuss how it turns out, along with our national editor, Allegra Stratton, and business editor, Joel Hills, who, as you can see, are here with me in the studio, and our consumer editor, Chris Choi, who is on the South Coast.
I'm at this high-tech factory near Southampton to hear budget hopes and fears from our panel of guests, including a young worker, one of the company's bosses, a local entrepreneur, and a public sector worker.
This is ITV News Budget Special with Tom Bradby.
Good afternoon. Ever since the election of 2010 and the coalition that was brought into being in the Downing Street Rose Garden, the government has had one overriding mission: to sort out the public finances and reduce our borrowing. We were going to balance the books by 2015. Remember that? Then it slipped and slipped and slipped again. Now it is supposed to happen sometime in the middle of the next decade. So the target has kept moving, but the pain has been all too real for many people. Pay caps and freezes, benefit caps and cuts, though some taxes have come down too. So we go into today's budget with a number of pretty sizable questions. Is sorting out the public finances still actually the government's central purpose, or has Brexit changed that? If that is still what it's all about, is there any room for manoeuvre on anything? There is a lot at stake, even within the Tory party itself. The Chancellor is not very popular with the ultra-Brexiteers around him in the chamber here. Any tiny slip and they will be agitating for his departure. This is the scene inside the House where we are still in the middle of Prime Minister's questions. As you can see, we will come to the Chancellor as soon as he is on his feet. In the meantime, let's get a quick summary of what to look out for from Robert. Robert, what do you expect? What should we really, in the end, be looking out for today?
So this will be a steady as she goes, perhaps slightly dull budget, because, as I said to you last night, Tom, he doesn't have a huge amount of room for manoeuvre. There isn't a huge pile of cash ready for him to raid. He built a bit of margin of extra money for himself in the last budget that he announced, and that will be used up. There'll be a bit of extra money for health, a bit of extra money for nurses' pay, about 10 separate housing measures. Individually, none of them that important. Together, maybe they will improve house building prospects. A bit of help for younger people, that rail card extension to the age of 30 that we've heard about. For Tory MPs here at the House of Commons, I don't think there'll be any absolute disasters, but nor will they feel at the end of this budget that their electoral prospects have been transformed for the better.
OK, Robert, we'll come back to you certainly after he has spoken. Allegra and Joel, as I said, join me. Allegra, you've done this incredibly compelling series this week about the being in an NHS hospital, assessing the reality. Yes, not a very comfortable story in lots of ways. What do you expect to